Today, we're going to read Paddington's Trick or Treat. One morning, the Browns were having breakfast when Paddington came in carrying Mrs. Bird's best broom and wearing what looked like a bin bag draped over his duffel coat. "I'm sorry I'm late," explained Paddington. "I was making my outfit for this evening." Mr. Brown gave a groan. "Of course. 31st of October. Halloween." "We promised to take Paddington trick-or-treating," explained Jonathan. "Perhaps we could have a party afterwards," suggested Judy. "It seems a shame not to make the most of the evening." "I've never been to a Halloween party," said Paddington, wistfully. "I don't think they have them in darkest Peru." Mrs. Brown caught her husband's eye. "We haven't had one for ages, Henry," she said. "It might be fun." "Please, Dad," chorused Jonathan and Judy. Mr. Brown weakened. "Perhaps a small one," he said. "Just for the family. But no more. It's bad enough as it is with all those people ringing the doorbell and calling trick or treat through the letterbox." "We can help get everything ready," offered Jonathan. "If I were you, Paddington," said Mrs. Bird, "I'd get down to the market as soon as possible, before they run out of pumpkins. And if we're having a party, you'll need the ingredients to do some baking. Don't forget some squashed fly biscuits," added Jonathan. "I don't like the sound of those," said Paddington. "Don't worry," explained Judy. "The proper name is Garibaldi biscuits. The currants in them look like squashed flies." As soon as Paddington had set off with his list, Jonathan and Judy started making decorations and masks for their own outfits. "Very wise," said Mrs. Bird approvingly when she saw what they were up to. In her experience, Paddington and glue pots were best kept as far apart as possible. By the time Paddington got back from the market, Jonathan and Judy had almost finished decorating the house. So Jonathan suggested Paddington might look in the shed for some old pieces of frayed rope so that they could make a wig for his costume. After that, Mrs. Brown set to work hollowing out the pumpkins to make lanterns, while Paddington helped Mrs. Bird with some baking. Mrs. Bird even managed to find him a recipe for Garibaldi biscuits, because Paddington hadn't found any in the market. He had to agree the currants did look very like squashed flies. One way or another, everyone was kept busy. But if the first half of the day passed quickly, waiting for it to get dark seemed to take forever. In order to pass the time, Paddington retired to his room to write some Halloween poems before putting on his costume. "I'm ready for the trick-or-treat part," he announced when he came back downstairs at long last. With the addition of a black pointed hat, everyone agreed Paddington made a very good witch indeed. The finishing touch was a set of fangs. Judy had made them out of some orange peel turned inside out. "I wouldn't like to meet you on a dark night," said Jonathan, when they went out into the front garden. By the time they reached the end of Windsor Gardens, Paddington had collected so many treats he could hardly carry them all, so they decided to head home. "We mustn't forget Mr. Curry," said Paddington. You don't think that's wise? Asked Judy. Do you think that's wise? Asked Judy. I've written a special poem for him, said Paddington. I don't want to waste it. You must like living dangerously, said Jonathan. I don't suppose he'll recognise me in my outfit, said Paddington, as he pressed at Mr. Curry's bell. Yes, barked the Browns, next door neighbour, as he opened the door a fraction and peered through the gap. Who is it? Hurry, hurry, Mr. Curry, called Paddington, disguising his voice. Give me a gift, or I'll be swift. Go away, Bear, exclaimed Mr. Curry, or I shall call the police. I'd better go now, Mr. Curry, Paddington called out. We're having a Halloween party, and I don't want to be late. A cunning gleam came into Mr. Curry's eyes. Is that so, Bear? He said. I thought I saw you doing a lot of coming and going this morning. There was a lot to get ready, said Paddington. Mrs. Bird's been very busy baking cakes. It's very kind of you to invite me, Bear, said Mr. Curry, stepping out. That's torn it, whispered Jonathan Judy. Daddy won't be happy. Mr. Curry gazed around the Browns' living room as he made himself comfortable in Mr. Brown's favourite armchair and helped himself to some chocolates. Much to everyone's dismay, he looked set to stay for the rest of the evening. Now, Bear, he said, it's my turn. Seeing as you have kindly invited me to your party, I have a poem for you. Trick or treat, give me something else to eat. Mrs. Bird pursed her lips, but before she had time to say anything, Paddington jumped to his feet. Don't worry, Mrs. Bird, she called as he hurried out of the room. Leave it to me. A few minutes later, Paddington returned, carrying a plate of biscuits, which he offered to Mr. Curry. I must say these are very good, mumbled Mr. Curry, through a mouthful of crumbs. What are they? They're squashed fly biscuits, Mr. Curry, said Paddington. I couldn't find any at the market, so I decided to make my own. Mr. Curry jumped to his feet. Bear, he hollowed, clutching his stomach. Do you mean to say you've been feeding me dead insects? That's the very last time I accept an invitation to one of your parties. Accept an invitation indeed, says Mrs. Bird, as she led him, uninvited guest, into the hall. Moments later, the sound of the front door being slammed echoed round Windsor Gardens. Well, it looks as though you managed to play a trick on Mr. Curry after all, chuckled Mr. Brown. Fancy him believing you'd use real flies in your biscuits. Now I suggest we all enjoy a bowl of Mrs. Bird's delicious pumpkin soup. And then I'd rather like to try one of those biscuits, if Mr. Curry has left any for the rest of us. Pin the eye on the monster. Afterwards, everyone voted it was the best Halloween party they'd had for a long time. I hope you're not planning to eat those chocolates in bed, warned Mrs. Bird at the end of the evening, as Paddington started to carry his bucket of treats upstairs. Oh no, Mrs. Bird, said Paddington. I was thinking I might send most of it to Aunt Lucy. I don't expect they get many treats in the home for the retired bears. Aren't you going to take your hat off, Paddington? Asked Mr. Brown. If you don't, said Mrs. Bird, the glue may melt during the night, and then you'll be stuck with it. Paddington considered the matter for a moment or two as he went up the stairs. He felt very torn. I suppose I'd better, he said. Otherwise, I shan't be able to raise it if I meet someone I know when I'm out shopping. But if you don't mind, I'll take my lantern with me. It's been such a nice Halloween. I don't want to miss a minute of it.